Be sure to subscribe and click on the bell for notifications on future uploads. What happened here? I know I was getting close to Sulli-Ween, but I wasn't ready yet, and my wand has nothing to do with it. Hello?
Hello, Sully. This is Mr. Holiday here, and I just figured out what happened to you.
Oh, wow, that was fast.
But the details of it isn't much, and all I could find was a guy in a Halloween mask.
Oh, well, that seems fitting. But who do I know wears a mask?
I don't know, but I got someone who fit that description in a confession video I just filmed.
Oh, that's surprising and questionable how you're able to do this, but send me the clip. He doesn't look like the kind of guy that would do any harm to me.
Oh, didn't you know? He's Sleepy Joe. He walks in his sleep and he doesn't even peep.
But he's wearing a sleeping mask. How is that threatening?
He looks scary when you take off the mask.
Whatever, just keep looking while I do my review.
Will do.
Hello, Sullivan Bard here, or you can call me Sully. And welcome to Sulli-Ween. And I decided to start off by doing this month's tradition of reviewing a Tim Burton movie. But I'm looking to his short films again, with this one being his very first one, which is not much. It's Burton's first hand-drawn film made in 1979, Stalk of the Celery Monster. Now with this one, I'll be going over all that has happened, because it's short, but it's literally short, at 1 minute and 38 seconds, and all I'm about to say will be the whole thing. Inside a laboratory, there's a doctor with a woman as his victim for an experiment. Yet the woman screams, breaking the doctor's glasses, and the doctor calls in on a monster that the woman is scared of as it roars at the woman, and the woman roars back, only to be scared again, and the monster knocks her out with a giant hammer. Both the doctor and monster work on the woman. The doctor says it's successful, to which the monster sees and worries about, and it turns out the doctor is a dentist, as he looks at his patients, calls for the next one, and this woman gives a scared look as she's next. And that's it! That's the whole short. As to why I thought about it, I don't know what to think about it, because it felt like nothing happened as I was watching it, and to give my thoughts on it would be too simple and not much. But I'll try anyway. First off, why is it called Stalk of the Celery Monster? Is the monster in the short the Celery Monster? It doesn't look like anything. Not to mention that the film cuts from the woman screaming at the monster to her being scared, and the monster is completely different from the one before. So maybe this is the Celery Monster, but it doesn't really seem to be doing anything and just appears. And I'm sure something happened in between the cut with the woman, since there's no sound in the first half, and the sound appears out of nowhere when it cuts, and then changes the color in the last 10 seconds. But I do kind of get what the short is doing, as, since it ends at the dentist, it pokes fun at how people would imagine a dentist visit would be like, and the scared expressions of the women do reflect that. But then why would the dentist office look like a mad scientist laboratory with equipment that's more dangerous? Sure, it may be the woman's imagination, but this is a little much. Plus, the doctor only has 3 lines in the whole short, as, while there's no sound at the start, there is a bit with the doctor speaking, yet nothing's uttered, and this is quite odd. As a whole, this short is weird, and I can leave it at that. For it being animated by Tim Burton, it has a style and wackiness throughout, which looks neat, but it's too short to leave much of an impression, as the characters are too basic or non-existent, and there's not much of a plot to go off of. I know it's a short film and can only give as much as it can given its premise, but 1 minute and 38 seconds isn't going to do it. As is, it's strange for its look and animation, but isn't enough based on its short length, lack of characters, very minimal dialogue, and extremely simple story. So unfortunately, I won't be giving it any star rating, for that left no impression on me, and I have minimal words for it.
Somehow ending this video right now doesn't feel right, as what I just talked about doesn't have much to it. What to do? I know! I'll review the next Tim Burton short film.
One that's better than the last one, and is one that brought Burton's name to the public. Released in 1982 alongside the film Tex, which I never heard of or seen before.
It's his first stop-motion short film, narrated entirely by Vincent Price and in rhyme. Vincent.
The short tells the story of a boy named Vincent Malloy, who's seen as being the nicest boy ever known, yet has fantasies of being Vincent Price and doing all the things the actor has been known for. But Vincent becomes too obsessed with his fantasies, leading him into trouble with his mother.
This is an interesting short, in that it's better than Stalk of the Celery Monster, with nice animation, lovely narration, and it being longer at almost 6 minutes. But that doesn't mean that I like it entirely, as there is one portion of the film that does bother me for what it all amounts to.
But first, the stuff I like about it. Like I mentioned, the animation and narration are good, even when the whole short is done in black and white, and does make Burton's look and style somewhat otherworldly. The nods and references to Vincent Price and his movies are neat to see, even if I haven't seen them all, but at least I did get the House of Wax reference, as that's one of the very few films starring him that I've seen. The transitions from scene to scene are also nice, even within the same shot, such as the grave turning out to be the mother's flower bed Vincent's digging out. Most of the shots here are lovely to see and animated quite well, and this face creeped me out from when I first saw it as a still image in the book Burton on Burton, but I got used to it. But as much as I enjoy many parts of the film, there is that one part that I couldn't get into, and that's the ending and what it meant for the whole film. Now I'm only talking about the last few seconds, as all that happens before are quite neat to see, when all the horrors that Vincent fantasizes start to haunt him, and it's all shown rather fine. Yet it all ends with Vincent dying as he quotes the final lines from Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven. I get that he's imagining as Vincent Price here, but it's quite depressing that there's nothing else after this. No scene of Vincent Malloy being himself again or anything like that. It really didn't feel right to me because it only ends in his fantasies, and abandoning his own reality, maybe forever. And it makes me wonder if Malloy is still alive, but his Price persona is dead. And it wouldn't be such an issue for me if it didn't end so upsettingly, and that Malloy is in his own world and is his own self again. Aside from that, the short overall is fine, and there are moments that are fine, good, and a little funny to see, but its ending is just too questionable for me. As a whole, this short is fine. The character, is neat, the story is fine, and the animation is quite good. As the first short film from Tim Burton to get him recognition, it's nicely done, with its black and white cinematography, references to Vincent Price, neat transitions, good use of Burton's style, and Vincent Price's narration. Although I do like how it looks and how it goes around, the ending of it all wasn't much to my liking, of how melancholy it is, given that it's a child's imagination, and that it didn't feel right to me. But for what it's worth, the short is better than Stalk of the Celery Monster, and incorporates Burton's style and his hero pretty well, through the neat animation, wondrous narration, and nice references. So I'll be giving this short a rating of 2.5 mixed stars.
And that is it. So thank you for joining me. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Facebook or Twitter, support me on Patreon, and tune in next time for more of Sulli-Ween.